Thanks so much for joining me. You know, marriage can be the most happy thing that you ever embark on in life. I'm fortunate that I've been happily married for 28 years to the most amazing lady. And I've learned a few things along the way. In fact, both of us have. And we love to work with couples that are in marriage situations that might or might not be working out all that well. I want to give you 10 ways to help your marriage. Now, there are so many other, there are probably 100,000 ways. I was going to give you a first 10. Number 1, communicate. Communication is so incredibly important. If you're not communicating with each other, you are destined to fail. Talk about things. Get things out in the open. Number 2, grow together. Don't expect the person that you marry to remain exactly the same. We're going to change shape. We're going to change our appearance. We're going to change our jobs. And a confident person might go through difficulties later on in life. A person with no confidence might become very confident. And so allow each other the space to develop and to become people that are going on this life track together. You're not there to control each other. You're not there to change each other. You're there to do life together. And it's the most wonderful thing, seeing the other person becoming something, and likewise knowing that they are part of what you're becoming as well. We're always becoming. Don't ever stop your spouse from becoming what it is that they need to be. Number 3, give each other space. Such an important thing there as well. To give each other space simply means that allowing each other to have interests that are not common interests. I have musical tastes that my wife doesn't share. I like certain movies and binge watching stuff on Netflix that she perhaps doesn't go for. Likewise, she will watch things that I don't like. You see, we have different interests, and that's what keeps it interesting, because we're able to talk about our interests to one another, but we still make space for each other. Number 4, make time. I have a very busy schedule, but I make time every week that we can spend together. Whether it's going for a walk, whether it's having a coffee or a breakfast together, make time so that the other person knows that they actually mean something to you, and that you're willing to actually even put it in your diary, that you're going to break away from your usual and you're going to make time. Number 5, talk about money. Talk about these things. I'm astonished how many couples actually don't even know what each other earns. And to me, that is bizarre. We have joint accounts. What she earns, I can spend. What I earn, she can spend. You know, but we communicate with it all the time. We don't just randomly buy expensive things. We make sure that the other person knows about it. I'll talk to her about it. If I see something that will be beneficial, should we go for this? She will do the same thing with me, even when it comes to clothing. Listen, have we got something in the budget? I want to go and buy some new jeans or something like that. Talk about money. Communicate about it. It's not a thing to control people with. Number 6, agree on all child-related issues. Agree on child-related issues. This is an important thing. Some couples get married and suddenly they discover that the one spouse actually doesn't want to have kids at all. That's something you should be talking about long before you ever tie the knot. Talk about child-related things. How are you going to raise them? What schools are you going to want to send them? What sort of school do you want to send them to? Do you want to go public? Do you want to go private? Do you want to go government? Do you want to go church school? Talk about these things first. How are you going to discipline your children? Because the worst thing that disgusts a child is when the parents start arguing in front of the kid when they're actually trying to discipline the kid. Kid's done something wrong. Mum says, no, you don't get to tell him off like that. Hold on, I'm the dad. Yes, I can. You see, and so there are different ways of doing things. You've got to agree on common ground before the children come along. Number 7, don't go to sleep angry. Sort it out. Nothing is that bad that cannot be spoken about. There can be some very, very serious issues that have disrupted your marriage. Talk about it. Don't go to sleep angry. Number 8, don't sulk. It's not very becoming. All right, sulking is when you say, look, I didn't get my way, so I'm just going to keep to myself. I'm not going to say anything, and I'm going to see if she notices that I'm not saying anything, and then she'll know how badly she hurt me. Oh, get over yourself, for heaven's sake. Get over your nappy rash. Come on. You know, sometimes we will be a little bit hurt and we'll withdraw for a little bit. That's perfectly acceptable, but do not sulk. It's not very becoming. Number 9, be openly affectionate. You know, let your children see that you love each other. Sit with the arm around each other, leaning against each other, holding hands, kisses in the kitchen, that sort of thing. never being inappropriate, but always let people see that you love each other. My wife and I, when we go for our walks around our village, we will hold hands publicly. We want people to know that we are together and we plan to be for life. There are ways that you can make your marriage work. I've given you a few here. Number 10 is allow yourselves the freedom to be the person that you are. Okay? Don't allow the other person to write your life story. Don't allow them to control you. You are allowed to set your own boundaries even though you are married. You're allowed to celebrate who you are and develop your own individuality. And that's an exciting thing in a marriage. When you see people that are still together, working together at their marriage all the time, communicating about things, moving towards the conflict, don't shelve things, and they're becoming strong within themselves. Give each other the space to do that. You're absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, and there'll be some more of this to come soon.